I went back and I pulled my own family's spend at Ulta.
Okay.
That was eye-opening.
You want me to double check it for you?
Yeah, you
and
might
make sure
have to.
matching everything?
There might be secret accounts.
Yeah,
that
I was
don't know.
gonna say we could.
Okay, pump the brakes, y'all. It's like we're spending like way too much money. I'm like we're entrepreneurs. We don't have time to spending that much money.
The number one place I assume I can get wellness products is at Ulta Beauty. Beauty enthusiasts love stores. They love to go in. They love to experience the product. They love the theater of shopping. We encourage that. We're not looking to keep them online or anything like that.
Yeah.
It all goes together as far as we're concerned. We're really doing it because our guests expect it. If we are going to give them the solutions that they need in beauty and wellness, we've got to be able to do stuff like this. And that means we have to have lots of great brands and brand partners. We're really excited also about what the marketplace will allow us to do to test brands, to find them and bring them on board and get them built out. And we know the marketplace will give us a chance to not only chase trends, but also to test some things that we think we want to get into in a big way and see what works for us.
All right, welcome back. We're at Shoptalk Spring here in Las Vegas, and we're at the Lore pop-up. This is our bookshop. And Brian, we're having a great time. We're here with our friend, Josh Friedman from Ulta. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Josh, what are you doing these days over at Ulta?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We have so much going on. Just making sure that we're delivering everything we can for all the beauty enthusiasts out there. I'm happy to be here this week. We're spending a lot of time talking about the announcement of the launch of our marketplace later this year. So that's a big one for us, but a lot else going on with our expansion into wellness, our personalization efforts, all the big buzzwords.
And you're running e-commerce, digital. You're heading up all of these efforts.
Yes.
Okay. And with this launch of marketplace, it seems like a really big shift. Give us the download. Give us the strategy.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd characterize a big shift, but it's a really big opportunity for us.
Yeah.
We do really well curating a great set of brands. We have about 600 brands that we sell across the chain and a few extra online only. But we meet and talk to thousands of brands every year. We have our brand incubator through our Sparked program. And we just don't have enough space and sometimes even enough time to get these brands in front of our customers. And we know that they're looking for them. We can see them trending on social media. We can see searches on them. And we want the opportunity to bring those brands to life on Ulta.com and especially in our app. So the marketplace is a easy win for us and all of our guests to get access to some of those brands and even some new categories. I mentioned wellness earlier. Sure. That'll be a big part of it. But there's even some other adjacency categories that we don't have enough chance to get into for our customers. Men's, K-beauty, the list goes on. So the marketplace will give us a chance to play in a lot of those adjacencies as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to do the marketplace, to do a marketplace.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you approach the strategy and then the implementation of that marketplace. Or is it just open? Can anyone come in and list? Or
thanks for asking.
Yeah.
It's being curated.
Yeah.
I know that's a buzzword, but ours is invitation only, closed marketplace. No buy box competition. We're just looking to make sure we can bring the best of beauty and wellness to our guests. And so we'll be using the marketplace to do that. Any brand can apply to be on Ulta.com/marketplace is where they can go. And we'll be reviewing them for assortment and the ability to take care of our customers. And that's the basic program. So nothing too open, nothing too extensive. A lot of folks are going after an endless aisle. We're really just going after an extended aisle.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Curation is such a part of your brand.
Yes.
Types of products you brought in. Everyone trusts the Ulta name as a result. And so I love this approach to marketplace.
Yeah. We're excited.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And it does give you this opportunity, I think, to grow with your customer. Like you said, there are space constraints in atoms. Yeah. You know, it's only so much space in the real world. I think part of the opportunity to overcome space constraints has been this partnership with Target, right? And so I think that has to have driven a lot of opportunity, I think, for the brand. I think that also probably drives a lot of opportunity for you to deepen this relationship online with the customer too. So the wellness expansion seems like a really key opportunity now to grow with those types of customers. Talk to me how you drive this new sort of this category expansion. I think of that as category expansion.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a decent presence in wellness previously, but the lines are blurring.
Sure.
And there are so many opportunities, whether it's around sleep care or lots of other extensions. And so we actually did some research, and our customers, not just our customers, everyone's customers, and came back and said, the number one place I assume I can get wellness products is at Ulta Beauty. So it was already on the tip of their tongue. In fact, the fact that we probably aren't in some of these wellness categories would surprise some of our customers, because beauty and wellness have blended so nicely. So we've got an idea of what we can do to take care of our customer. We already want her to feel great about how she looks and feels. And so getting into wellness just is right in line with that ethos.
Oh, so smart. And I feel like, I think back over the years to Ulta, and my impression of you, one of the things you've done so well is invest in digital experiences and bringing them into the store, and having customers interact with your app and interact with your programs through their phones while they're shopping in your physical stores. And so I'd love to hear more about how the marketplace is going to continue to enhance that strategy and kind of bring that additional product assortment into that store experience.
It'll be tough to bring all of those products into the store, right? But what we've always done through the app is want to make sure it is a magnet. We mean it when we say we want to be the destination of a lifetime in beauty and wellness. So for us to be a destination, we got to make sure we've got everything that our customer would want to buy. That includes products, but also solutions and services. And so the app is the hub of that for us. So what that means for us is, before you come into a store, we know you're going to come to our app. We know you are going to look for solutions. You might want to use any of our AR and VR tools that we've invested in. Virtual try-on's a great use for us. We see huge benefits of people who engage in that experience, to try on beauty, try on hair, do our skin analyzers. So that's a big one for the app. And of course, you can do that in the store too. And then it's the normal stuff that you would expect. Do you have what I'm looking for in my local store? Are you in stock? Focus, those sorts of things. The other parts that we're really excited about bringing to life in the future, coming year, we just launched our events platform. So our stores do tens of thousands of events in the store. Not always easy to know about and find. We want the app to be the place where you learn about those and even RSVP for those. And so that launched a little earlier this year.
That's so cool.
And then we launched our community platform at the end of last year. We're seeing much bigger numbers than we even expected. We had some pretty high hopes of people joining our community. Lots of great forums and a lot of new video content coming to our community platform later this year. So it's the typical ecosystem that we know we need to have, both in the app, and that will engender folks to shop with us, and especially in the store. Listen, beauty enthusiasts love stores. They love to go in. They love to experience the product. They love the theater of shopping. We encourage that. We're not looking to keep them online or anything like that. It all goes together as far as we're concerned.
So cool, because it seems to me like the community already existed. You're just helping formalize and improve the connection between your customers. That's huge. That it already existed in an organic way.
It did, and we see it. I mean, there's subreddits, there's lots of places to do it. We wanted to make sure we had a place where they could get together on our properties, but we can also engage with them, and we're actually seeing great engagement from our brand partners as well on our community. Cool.
I went back and I pulled my own family's spend at Ulta.
Okay.
That was eye-opening.
You want me to double check it for you?
You might have to everything. There might be secret accounts.
I was going to say we could.
There is I have to wonder, like, if this is a really interesting opportunity, right? Because rewards, I know there's like 44 million loyalty members, and I know the first thing that we do when we come to the register is we ask, do we have any rewards? No. I have 2 shoppers in my house. Actually, we have 3 shoppers in my house. I buy a lot of skincare and I buy a lot of hair care from Ulta. My wife does as well, but now we have a 14-year-old daughter, and she's starting to buy a lot of stuff from Ulta as well. And so we have 3 people in my house that's represented. I'm starting to think about, like, our baskets are growing, and I think with the addition of other, lines that you're offering, like growth into wellness, I think that there's just so much opportunity there too. But so I'm looking at our spend in January. We spent $134. in February, we spent $300, and I was like, why did we spend $300? It's like, we bought a curling iron, we bought a hair dryer, and I'm like, okay, pump the brakes, y'all. It's like, we're spending like way too much money. I'm like we're entrepreneurs. We don't have time to spending that much money. But congratulations, because I think there's so many places to be spending that, those dollars, and we spend a ton of money on Amazon.
Right.
There's a lot of places for us to go. We go out of our way to shop at Ulta.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of folks like that. So I think Marketplace seems to me like a really interesting choice. And I think one that's going to require a lot of customer enablement. So I'm coming a long way around to say, I think customer enablement, and it's almost like a digital shift of a certain kind of a behavior in a customer. Personalization could probably enable some of that.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you're going to sort of shape some of that behavior with the customer, and maybe personalization drives some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're making a big emphasis this year, as many of our retail brethren are, around personalization. And it's really important for us because even within your family, what beauty means to you versus your wife is different. What beauty means to your wife versus her friend is very different. Yeah. They're trying to solve for different opportunities, whether it's in their hair or their skin or how they look. We want to make sure that's relevant to each customer. So we announced last year a huge partnership with Adobe, who's powering a lot of our personalization efforts. But what we really owe it to our customers to do, with 44 million people that we know actually a lot about, Phillip, is to make sure that we are requiting them with a personalized experience, with a relevant experience that's based on shopping habits, personal preferences. Hopefully you engage in our virtual try-on tools, which we can learn about a lot about you and therefore give you some great relevance there. And so we're putting that all into your beauty profile, your wife's beauty profile. So that way that can build over time. You can contribute to it yourself. We can contribute to it on your behalf and keep getting more and more relevant over time. So that way the stuff that you need, and maybe some things that you didn't know you might be interested in, pop up for you during your shopping journeys.
We're definitely not helping you because we're all shopping under one profile.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And I know better.
Great.
I know better.
Normally, things like you're so good at Curated.
That's all right. We forgive you.
I'm absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
I think that one of the challenges, especially around like personalization, is clean data, right? And so getting clean data, I think I'm probably an outlier in that regard. I think a lot of folks are, not shopping for an entire household. But I think clean data is one part of it too. AI is another part of it. You all have really led the way in like you said, in driving a lot of these sort of like AR experiences too.
Yeah.
And I think that all roads leading back to these sorts of not just personalization, but like I think seeing Ulta as a sort of like an innovator in the space in a lot of ways, I think keeps that customer as a digitally enabled customer generally. So you tend to have that sort of relationship with the customer.
It also gives them the opportunity to experiment, right? And I think it's really, really hard to do when you're talking about physical product, like being able to do it digitally, and being able to digitally gives people more power to try new things. And then they can come to the store and like already have a sense of like, I want to go talk to somebody about like how these things might look in the real world, right?
Absolutely.
And they already have a few ideas, and then they can start to play around.
Yeah, and if you consider them two channels, which personally I do not, customers shop in between, and that's great. I mean, we have 1,400 stores. We'll have 1,500 later this year, if not next year. That's great. We want you to have that store at the center of your universe. We want the app to be your virtual beauty bestie, if you will. And neither of those are channels to us. It's one shopping journey, especially Gen Z and Gen A, but we actually see this a ton in Gen X too, of folks really wanting to use the app to complement their pre-store and post-store experiences. And we encourage all of it.
So the people listening are definitely, they're leaders. They understand the strategies. They understand the tactics. I'm curious if you could sort of lift the hood a little bit and tell us a little bit of like some of the technologies implemented.
Sure.
Right. So I think you partnered with Mirakl. So
Yeah, that's right.
for
So on the marketplace, we're
right.
partnering with Mirakl to be our marketplace platform. I mentioned our partnership with Adobe on the personalization
The
side.
real-time CDP, I think.
Yeah, CDP and several other their products, bringing that together. And we're building a few things in-house on some of the decisioning and science sides to complement that. We have a big partnership with Databricks, for instance, on a lot of the AI. So we like to bring best of breed to the stack to make sure whatever capabilities that we're bringing, we really think about it from a capability perspective and then apply use cases to those over time. Is so that we can build on those. You mentioned testing earlier. I'll just say we're really excited also about what the marketplace will allow us to do to test brands. It's typically a little harder for us to test brands, to find them and bring them on board and get them built out. And we know the marketplace will give us a chance to not only chase trends, but also to test some things that we think we want to get into in a big way and see what works for us. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the we went through an era where we saw this sort of like Cambrian explosion of direct-to-consumer brands, and a sign of having made it is a test and then deployment across Ulta until all of the stores. I think that needs to still be a sign of graduation in.
Absolutely.
Right. So
absolutely. No, we
maybe
look at it that way
marketplace can be part of that.
Oh, marketplace should be a gateway into experimenting, figuring out what's going to work, growing a bit of a business, and then catching on and eventually becoming a great candidate to be on the shelves of our physical stores.
What is the Ulta story around retail media networks at the moment? Is there
we have a retail media network. UB Media is the name of it.
Cool.
It's growing like gangbusters, as you would expect in our category.
Yeah.
The majority of it is happening digitally right now, so many of our brands participate in a meaningful way in our retail media network, and we've got some really great plans to expand it in the coming years, and we'll be experimenting with some things too in our stores, as well as continuing to kind of expand the digital footprint of that media network over time.
Yeah, I would imagine the marketplace is probably going to be a part of that too. Like those brands coming in and
we expect our sellers are gonna want to participate in that, and we're going to welcome that with open arms.
Genius.
Yeah.
You guys you're doing some cool stuff.
Well, hopefully, we're only doing it. I know this is kind of a bit catering to the masses or preaching to the safe. We're really doing it because our guests expect it from us. If we are going to give them the solutions that they need in beauty and wellness, we've got to be able to do stuff like this. And that means we have to have lots of great brands and brand partners. And that means we need assortment. We need retail media. We need to be able to build those brands up. And we're usually pretty good at that. We just need to continue to add to the cadre of capabilities we have that we can execute against.
The test word, it got me so excited because I talked about customers testing things, and then you're like, we're testing things also.
Oh, always.
But what's really cool is I feel like customers testing things and brands testing things are actually coming together, because you all are actually able to see like how your customers respond to this new set of brands they're going to have exposure to.
Yep.
How are you collecting data and working things back into your digital product strategy, but also to your product mix strategy? Those like social listening.
Well, we do social listening, and some of these will be expected by your audience, I assume, but we watch our search data very carefully. We know when we see things that we don't carry yet, where we kind of carry them, but maybe not enough, and follow some of those breadcrumbs. We watch our guided nav and filter nav usage really closely to see what attributes and filters are resonating with customers. Those are always a great indication for us on how we should be leaning in and helping them find what they're looking for, whether it's clean ingredients, which had a lot to do with our explosion in conscious beauty in that program, which now has over 300 brands, dermatological recommended products. We see those trends and we lean into them, not only make them easy to find, but then it gives us a chance to go out and say, hey, what can we do to bring more of these types of products and solutions to customer when we see them shopping that way?
Shifting gears a little bit too, I think there's also like the question of continued cultural relevance. And that is, one thing that we talk about a lot. we're called future commerce, right? So we're always talking about the future, and our big our big thesis is that commerce is our culture. Commerce is culture. I don't know that we like that. That's just the truth,
Right.
right? And I think that we experience culture often through commerce and like what we buy.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what we're seeing culturally is a lot of culture is happening through the internet, and a lot of creators, right, are creating culture right now. And a lot of cultural behavior is happening at the point of purchase, and that purchase funnel is collapsing, and people are buying directly online. So I'm curious, how do you feel like there's pressure at all, or do you feel an acceleration in this moment? Like, what do you think you have to do in your role to sort of change and shift to sort of keep up with those cultural shifts? And is that a generational thing, or do you see it has to keep?
So there's a few pivot points that I think, but they're not new. They just need to be emphasized. We talked about assortment. I'll continue to come back to that. That means that we've got a great stable of great brand partners at in the main part of our assortment, which we already do, and we will continue to have. That will always be what we lean on. And then do some of these expanded planets and moons around those planets as we go build it. So the assortment will always be there. It has to be there. The second thing, though, is the content around that product has to be excellent. It has to be excellent. And not just because your product pages have to look good anymore, but over time, this is what the agents will be gravitating towards when they're looking for solutions. And we want to make sure that our product content and even our non-product content is relevant. So that way, when you're engaging on an AI platform or using conversational tools, that those come back. So we're doubling back, as I'm sure many of my retail brethren are, to make sure all of our product content is excellent. And there's really, it's either A+ or bust, and that's where we're trying to get to.
Are you tracking content or traffic at all coming from AI search? Yeah.
We are tracking several of the big platforms to see what's coming from them. I won't be able to discuss too many. We're talking about if there's partnerships that we should be leaning into, and a couple of them are happening.
Actually crawl right now, so
there's a Perplexity in particular is sort of a one-click solution. We've had we produced an insight piece in a research report last year called New Modes, and I think one risk is I don't know that this is necessarily a new channel, because I think some people are characterizing AI purchasing as a new channel. I don't know if that's a channel, because brands have no control over it, really. You can't really merchandise there because you have no control over the experience. It's not really a display ad. It's not really like, you can't really fight over a buy box, really. Like,
right.
It's not really the same thing as a channel. So it's like a new mode of purchase. And in my mind, it's like, I think it's a totally new modality.
Yeah.
It's a totally new thing. And it's, maybe the website is a new sort of a magazine. This is something else entirely.
Right.
And so I think it's like, we're all going to have to just understand it in a totally new way. And that's, I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
I think some people might be afraid of it, but I think it should be exciting to some people. Like, maybe it's incrementality. I don't know. I think we're really excited to think about like the future of commerce. We always ask people what they think the future of commerce is. We didn't really prep you for it, but like, what do you think the future looks like, as far as, the next 18 to 24 months? You've got a job to do. You've got to enable people. You got to enable, you got to do this thing. AI, you've got
it. It's absolutely one of the major topics that we're figuring out. And it's happening at a faster and faster pace.
Yeah.
So like I said, we want to be ready. We're not sure which directions will go, which directions will win.
Sure.
But we want to make sure that the capabilities that we have. So, I mentioned the assortment, I mentioned the product data.
Yeah.
We feel like the power of our loyalty program will continue to bring gravity to our experiences. And we want to make sure that that's a rich place, and folks enjoy being in that club, so to speak. So we'll continue to focus on those things while we test and learn on which way the AIs could go.
Sure.
You know, the other places are, we know the AI will help us get more productive, more efficient internally, and we're looking forward to figuring out how that can help us in a marketing and a digital perspective.
I think that's the key. Yeah. I think that's where most people will see most of the productivity from it too, for sure. This has been great.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to have you. Love to have you
Thanks
back.
for having me.
Yeah. I'd love
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And congrats on all the success so far.
Maybe we'll see you in Chicago.
Absolutely.
And you're going to continue to just grow a basket with me. I know that's for sure.
Come on in. Come on in. We'll even put you in a chair and help you trim your hair.
I love it. I'm going to do that.
All right.
Too.
All right.
Yeah, get that.
I love that.
Low taper fade.
Yeah, there we go.
Appreciate
we got
it.
you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye.